So in this episode, I will walk you through 5 simple but powerful practices you can do during a full moon to feel more grounded, more connected, more supported, whether you're in a deep healing journey or just wanting to explore working with the moon. Welcome to Ebbs and Flows with Erin. In this show, we're getting real about navigating the ups and downs of life together. I'm your host, Erin, and we're ditching the pressure to have it all figured out along the way because honestly, nobody does. We'll explore all things healing, growing, creating, and connecting. And if you deal with anxiety, depression, being a highly sensitive person, or just feeling overwhelmed by life sometimes, I see you, and this show is for you. My intention with these conversations is simple: to leave you feeling empowered, validated, and most importantly, reminded that you are never alone, no matter where you're at on your own journey. Learning that we all have the power to heal genuinely changed my life. And the best part, healing does not have to be complicated. The smallest changes really can make the biggest impact, and it can be joyful, fulfilling, and something that we do together. So join me in getting real about what it means to heal. Thank you for being here, and now let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to Ebbs and Flows with Erin, or welcome back to Ebbs and Flows with Erin. I am your host, Erin, and as always, I am so grateful to have you here with me today. Whether you are listening or watching over on our Ebbs and Flows YouTube channel, thank you for tuning in to today's episode. And in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing 5 simple but powerful things that you can do during a full moon to work with the full moon energy. And before we dive into these 5 things, I'm going to briefly cover how the energy of the full moon impacts us emotionally, mentally, physically, and energetically. Whether you've noticed that you've always felt a little bit off or a little extra sensitive around a full moon, or maybe you've just noticed that your sleep is a little bit wonky, you are not imagining it. The full moon does affect us. There is science and energetic wisdom behind why. So here's why tuning into the full moon matters and why it can be powerful to work with the energy. Number 1, we are nature. Just like the moon affects the tides, it affects us. We are made up of 70% water. It's not a stretch to think that it can stir up the tides within ourselves as well. The full moon is a time of heightened energy, and we know everything is energy, everything is affected by energy, and this is a peak point in the lunar cycle. Everything feels amplified. That means our emotions, our thoughts, and even maybe the things that we've been avoiding tend to rise to the surface around this time. And it's not a bad thing, and it does not need to be scary. It's just an opportunity to become more aware. The full moon brings to light what's been hidden in the shadows. Energetically, that can look like clarity, insights, or even emotional releases. If you've ever felt like you're purging something around a full moon, or you've felt heightened emotions in general, this is why. And this makes a full moon a powerful time for release because they are about letting go. Letting go of what is not serving you so that you can make space for what you want and what will serve you in your life. And these can be big or small things, releasing what no longer is aligned, what's been weighing on you, or what's ready to shift. And that is what makes this phase of the lunar cycle so healing. And as we talk about in my previous episode about the new moon versus full moon, working with the new moon allows you to set your intentions for what you want. The full moon allows you to check in and take inventory of what's working, what you still need to release, or what you need to release to amplify your intentions, your manifestations that you've set during the new moons. So working with the lunar cycle is really just about being aware of the energy rather than fighting against it, and having self-check-ins, and they can be as intense or as simple as you want them to be. It really is just about the awareness. Finally, which I think is most important, working with the full moon, being aware of the energy of the moon and the lunar cycle reconnects us to our natural rhythm. In a world that is always pushing for more productivity and perfection, the moon cycle reminds us that everything ebbs and flows and every phase is valid. So the full moon is the perfect time to allow yourself to rest, to reflect, to release, and to reconnect with yourself. Since ancient times, people, animals, nature has all looked to the moon to guide them and to work with the rhythm of the phases of the moon. So this is not new age woo-woo shit. This goes back to ancient times. And if you ask me, in my opinion, you can't go wrong with looking to nature, to looking to universal energy. And the moon has been up there in the sky since the beginning of time. And the energy that has created that moon has also created you. So in this episode, I will walk you through 5 simple but powerful practices you can do during a full moon to feel more grounded, more connected, more supported, whether you're in a deep healing journey or just wanting to explore working with the moon. I personally have been working with the full moon specifically for the last 9 years. I've always, for my entire life, been obsessed with the moon. I am that person that is outside on any given night. I will say, oh my God, look at the moon. It's so beautiful. And I believe that it is so beautiful. When I look at the moon, I feel connected to the universe, connected to spirit, connected to whatever higher power you believe in, but also just reminded that we are all one. What has created nature, the moon, the sun, the stars, the planets, has created us. And tapping into connecting with that energy has been an extremely powerful practice for me, especially as I began learning more about energy and how everything is energy and how we are affected by energy and how it's important to work with our energy. And you will never feel more connected, grounded, or supported than you do when you are connecting to nature, connecting to the energy of the universal life force that is within all of us and everything on earth. Okay, so let's get into the 5 things that you can do during a full moon to work with the full moon energy. I also want to point out that when we have the day that a full moon peaks on, it is not the only day you have to work with full moon energy. The energy is typically felt for a few days leading up to a full moon and a few days after as well. So you have a time period around the full moon to work with the energy. I would say at least a week. That's why leading up to a full moon and after a full moon, you will hear people talking about maybe sleeping poorly, maybe feeling more emotional, just feeling off. People who work in hospitals or work in schools, in any setting with a large number of people, they will often report that they notice a difference in people's behavior around a full moon. I mentioned this before in our Working with the Moon Cycle episode, but the term lunatic was originally created to label someone who is acting quote unquote crazy during a full moon. So if you still aren't convinced that we are affected by the full moon and its energy, I don't really know what to tell you, but we're going to get into 5 ways that you can work with the full moon energy. So as we mentioned, the full moon is all about releasing. So the number one thing that you can do during a full moon is to declutter and cleanse your space, because it's not only about releasing emotionally during a full moon. The energy of decluttering your space, getting rid of material items, cleansing your space. The energy of releasing and cleansing in your physical material world affects you emotionally, physically, energetically. You just feel better. And you are literally creating space for what's meant for you to come your way. You're creating space for new things to come to you, new opportunities, new habits. And I don't think this is really a shock to anyone, because think about whenever you cleanse your space or whenever you do a closet clean out and you purge things that you no longer wear or you purge items that you no longer use, you always feel better after. And there's a reason for that. You are releasing old, negative, stagnant energy of things that just are no longer in alignment with you. So whether it is going through your closet and getting rid of things that you haven't worn in a while, or going through your fridge and throwing out expired condiments or whatever you need to get rid of in your fridge, doing a pantry clean out. It doesn't have to be a full scrub down of your house, but any type of decluttering and cleansing during a full moon is going to just amplify that energy of release. You can go a step further and you can use Palo Santo or sage and cleanse the energy of your home this way. I personally always Palo Santo or sage on a full moon. And if you're someone who maybe struggles to let go of material items, let go of clothing, let go of things, it can be nice to make the full moon a time where you check in and you kind of force yourself to do so. Okay, the second thing that you can do to work with the full moon energy is to do a chakra cleansing or cord cutting meditation, because these 2 styles of meditation are in alignment with the theme of releasing and cleansing. When you're doing a chakra cleansing and balancing meditation, you are releasing all of the old, stagnant energy from your energy centers and bringing your energy into balance and into alignment so that you can move forward as an energetic match for what you want to bring in. And a cord cutting meditation is great, especially if you are a highly sensitive person, because you are cutting the cords connecting you to any energy sources outside of yourself. And when we are connected to energy outside of ourselves, which it's just natural to be, at the end of almost every day, I do cord cutting on myself because it's natural as you go throughout your day, you go throughout the world to take on energies outside of yourself. So these aren't things to like beat yourself up about or be looked at negatively. It's just practicing energetic hygiene, like you wash your body in the shower and you wash your hair. You are washing and cleansing your energy. And the full moon is an ideal time to do so because energetically and emotionally, everything is heightened. I've been meaning to record a cord cutting meditation. I have not yet, but I am going to do so. But every new moon and full moon, when I release my meditations, they always include a chakra energy center cleansing and balancing portion of the meditation. They're also Reiki infused. We also do a body scan to release any physical tension. And then we do a visualization that is in alignment with that specific full moon. So wherever you're listening to or watching this right now, you can find those. And the reason that I put them out specifically for new moons and full moons is because of the fact that meditation is such a powerful tool to use energetically during these times. Number 3 is to journal, because to release, we have to reflect so that we know what we want to be releasing. So we're going to be asking ourselves, what has been working for me? What hasn't been working for me? What do I need to release? What do I want to release in order to make space for what I want or for better to come to me? And something that was really helpful to me on my journey, if you aren't someone who wants to necessarily sit down and write in a journal, or you want to, but you just struggle with it. I know at times when I was in the thick of my healing and I would sit down to journal, but I would struggle because I felt like my brain was going so much faster than my hand could keep up with to write. And it almost just felt more overwhelming to sit down and try to journal out my thoughts. Video journaling. Video journaling changed the game for me, and this does not have to be structured in any sort of way. You simply just turn on your phone, your camera, start recording yourself, and just start talking. Just start saying out loud what it is that you'll be writing in a journal. Pretend you're talking to someone else or just to yourself, and just talk. And the best part about this is that you can look back on these videos in the future and you can build your self-confidence, build your self-worth, and celebrate how far you have come because you're able to look back at your progress. In general, it just always feels good to get your thoughts out of your head and to say them out loud or to write them down. But sometimes it is less overwhelming and less daunting to speak your thoughts rather than write them down. So give that a try if journaling is something that you struggle with. It's something that has been really, really helpful for me. So during a full moon specifically, the prompts that I would suggest you talk about in your video journal or you write about in your journal would be, what has been working for me over the past month or however long you're looking back? Where have I been feeling stuck? What do I want to feel like? And what do I need to release in order to get there? And then you can go further and write out affirmations in I am statements. I am releasing blank. I am letting go of blank. It can be as structured or as unstructured as you want. What's important is getting the thoughts out of your head and either onto paper or in video form. Or a voice note. You don't want your face in the video? Record voice notes to yourself. Okay, number 4 is to get in water. Any body of water, especially it's summertime right now, if you can get into a lake, an ocean, a pool, your bathtub, your shower, whatever it is, get into water. You want to submerge your body into water. Water holds energetic and spiritual power, way more than we are conscious of or that we acknowledge. But it's true, trust me. You are grounding yourself when you are in water. You are cleansing yourself when you are in water, physically, energetically. And if you want to take it a step further, you can speak to the water. This can sound crazy, but speak to the water. Many people talk about this. You can speak what you are releasing to the water. And my most favorite full moon activity is an Epsom salt bath. So putting Epsom salts in your bath helps to cleanse you, to ground you. You can add magnesium flakes to go an extra step. You can add bubble bath. You can add any essential oils to elevate the experience. You can light candles. You can play healing frequencies or a podcast or something that you want to be listening to. Make it a whole experience for you. And when you're in this bathtub, you are setting the intention that when you get out, you have released any negative, stagnant, old energy, released anything that is no longer serving you with the water as it went down the drain. And number 5, what you can do during a full moon is to move your body specifically in a way that feels good to you, that makes you feel joy. Because yes, it's important to move your body in general, but the real key here is to feel good while doing it. Because mixing movement with enjoyment while it's happening is activating your life force energy. It is getting your energy flowing. It's releasing the energy that doesn't serve you. And then feeling good while doing it puts you in the energy of alignment and renewal. You are physically releasing, stepping into the energy of being in alignment with receiving better, receiving what's meant for you and releasing what is not. Because yes, you can just go to the gym for the sake of moving your body, but if you're thinking the whole time, oh, I hate this is so hard, I'm so tired, I hate being here, but at least I did it, that's not what we want. You want to feel good while you're moving your body. Mindful movement. So this can look like anything. It can look like anything that makes you feel good while you're doing it, whether it's dancing, or it's lifting weights, or it's going for a run, or it's doing yoga, or it's doing Pilates, just simply stretching for 5 minutes. Whatever it is, you just want to feel good while you're doing it, especially during a full moon as well, because we are often more in our heads, and movement is the quickest way to get us out of our head and into our body. Okay, honestly, there are many more things that I could talk about when it comes to the full moon. I've been experimenting with my full moon rituals for years now, and the most important thing to know is that it does not have to be structured in any specific way. A full moon ritual can be as structured or unstructured as you want. It can be as robust as you want or as simple as you want. The only key is to be aware of the energy and to check in with yourself and ask yourself, what are you ready or needing to release? Asking yourself where you want to be and looking at what you need to release in order to call that in to your life. We have the next full moon on July 10th, the Capricorn full moon, and I am hosting a workshop with Lacey in Sherwood Park, which I'm so excited for. We are back in the beautiful dome on beautiful land in Strathcona County, where we get together as women. We connect in a women's circle. We do yin yoga, Reiki, meditation, journaling, and coming together under the full moon is so powerful, especially as women, because as women, the effect of the full moon is amplified in us. Some people refer to their menstrual cycle as their moon cycle because they kind of coincide. We can go deeper into that as well. And I think I did in my previous episode about the moon cycle, but women gathering in general is so important and so powerful, and especially under a full moon where everything is heightened. I have found over time of doing them that it is always a reminder that we all crave connection. We all have so much more in common than not. And it is so important to have these check-ins with ourselves and to create the time and space and allow ourselves to reflect, to release, and to connect and renew ourselves. We deserve it simply for being alive on this earth, and to remind ourselves that we are nature. We are the universe. The energy that has created the moon, the sun, the stars has created us. We are all one. So tapping into that is never going to steer you in the wrong direction. I don't care how woo-woo it sounds, how new age it sounds, how whatever it sounds, cringe, I don't know. I don't care how it sounds because I've experienced the difference in my life tangibly in all ways, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, from connecting with the energy of the moon, the energy of the universe, the energy of nature, and reminding myself that just like everything in nature, we are meant to ebb and flow, and we don't have to be on all the time. We don't have to be perfect all the time. We don't have to be productive all the time. And just like the moon reminds us, periods of darkness are necessary to experience the periods of light. So I hope that something in this episode has been valuable to you if you're looking for ways to work with the full moon, and I will let you guys know when we are having a future full moon retreat, because my favorite thing is connecting with women at these retreats. Thank you for listening today. I'm sending you a lot of love and gratitude, and I will talk to you next week. Bye!